In 2026, Hyundai isn't just playing catch-up anymore. They're rewriting the rules. This is the brand that started as the budget option, the safe choice, the car your accountant would recommend. But something changed. Something big. Today, Hyundai is stepping into the ring with the Japanese heavyweights and American muscle, throwing punches nobody saw coming. What you're about to witness isn't just another model year update. This is Hyundai declaring war on everything you thought you knew about affordable vehicles. Welcome to Motor Reig, and buckle up, because these two machines are about to flip your entire perspective on what's possible when a hungry brand decides it's tired of being underestimated. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine walking into a dealership 5 years ago and telling someone that Hyundai would be outselling Honda in certain segments. They'd laugh you out of the showroom. But here we are in 2026, and Hyundai isn't asking for respect anymore. They're demanding it. And they're backing up that demand with metal, technology, and design that makes you stop scrolling, stop talking, and just stare. This isn't your dad's Hyundai. This isn't even last year's Hyundai. This is a statement, this is a challenge, and if you're still sleeping on this brand, you're about to get a very rude awakening. First up, we have the 2026 Tucson. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another SUV, another crossover trying to be everything to everyone. But hold that thought, because this Tucson isn't playing it safe. This is Hyundai flexing every muscle they've developed over the past decade, wrapped in a body that looks like it time-traveled from 2035. The exterior design alone is enough to make a RAV4 look like it's stuck in witness protection. We're talking LED lighting technology that flows like liquid chrome, forming these boomerang shapes that slice through the air with purpose. The jewel-like grille isn't just sitting there like a metal mouth. It's integrated, camouflaged, almost alive, blending seamlessly with the daytime running lights in a way that makes you wonder if Hyundai hired designers from a sci-fi movie set. The angular lines aren't subtle, they're aggressive, deliberate. Each crease and fold catching light like a diamond facet, creating this optical illusion that makes the Tucson look like it's moving even when it's parked. The N-Line version takes this intensity up another notch with 19-inch wheels that fill the wheel wells like they mean business, black trim that adds edge without looking juvenile, and a stance that says this SUV doesn't just want to take you to the grocery store, it wants to own every highway mile between here and wherever you're brave enough to point it. Let's talk dimensions, because size matters when you're trying to convince families to trust you with their daily lives. The Tucson stretches 15 feet, 3 inches long, 6 feet 1 inch wide, and stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. That wheelbase measures 9 feet and half an inch, giving it a planted, confident road presence that translates to stability when you're doing 75 on the interstate with crosswinds trying to push you around. Weight ranges from 3,500 pounds to just over 4,300 pounds, depending on whether you go with the gas-only model or step up to the plug-in hybrid. That variance matters because it affects everything from acceleration to handling to brake feel. Now here's the interesting part. Compared to the 2025 model, the changes are subtle. This isn't a full redesign, it's a refinement. Hyundai took what was already working and polished it, adjusted the details on the higher trim levels, fine-tuned the proportions. Some might call that playing it safe. I call it confidence. When you've already nailed the design, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just make the wheel roll smoother. Step inside the Tucson, and you immediately forget you're in something that costs under $42,000. The dashboard layout is clean, modern, minimalist in all the right ways. Dual 12.3-inch screens dominate the upper dash in the well-equipped trims, creating this panoramic digital landscape that feels more luxury sedan than family SUV. But here's what separates Hyundai from the touchscreen-obsessed competition. They kept physical controls for the climate system. Real buttons, real knobs. The kind you can adjust without taking your eyes off the road or accidentally turning on the heated seats when you meant to adjust the fan speed. Materials feel solid. Not luxury car solid, but way better than the cheap plastics you'd expect at this price point. Surfaces have give without feeling hollow. Stitching is tight and consistent. Panel gaps are minimal. This is the interior of a company that's learned how to manufacture with precision. 5 seats provide genuine comfort, not just theoretical seating positions. The The second row offers legitimate legroom. I'm talking about 6-footers sitting behind 6-footers without their knees becoming dashboard ornaments. Adults can actually travel in the back without plotting revenge on the driver. Interior design varies across the trim levels, naturally. Base models get quality cloth upholstery that doesn't feel like punishment. SEL and Limited trims upgrade to leather that actually feels like leather, not that plasticky stuff some brands try to pass off as premium. The N-Line gets its own sport-tuned aesthetic with unique trim details that remind you this version means business. Cargo capacity is where the Tucson really delivers practicality. With the rear seats up, you're looking at between 31 and 39 cubic feet, depending on the powertrain. Fold those rear seats down, and you unlock 74 cubic feet of hauling capability. That's enough for a major shopping trip, camping gear for 4, or all the impulse buys from that home improvement store where you went in for light bulbs and came out with a new patio set. The plug-in hybrid does sacrifice some cargo room because physics, batteries take up space, but it's still practical enough for real-world use. One heads up though, if you're planning to load heavy luggage with a full family on board, that cargo floor sits a bit high. You'll be doing some lifting, not a deal breaker but worth knowing if you've got a bad back or you're constantly hauling awkward heavy items. Technology is where Hyundai absolutely refuses to cheap out. Even the base trim includes wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, wireless charging, digital key functionality that lets you unlock and start the car with your phone, remote start, and multiple USB-C ports. Because Hyundai understands we live in a world where everyone's device is perpetually at 15% battery. The higher trims pile on the goodies like a tech enthusiast's fever dream. Head-up display that projects critical info onto the windshield so you're not constantly looking down. Bose premium audio system with enough speakers to make your favorite songs sound like the artist is in the car with you. 360-degree camera system that gives you a bird's-eye view of your surroundings, making tight parking spots feel spacious. Adaptive cruise control with highway driving assist that can actually keep you centered in your lane and maintain safe following distances without feeling like it's fighting you for control. Built-in navigation that doesn't require you to surrender your phone's data plan. Proximity sensors that warn you before you bump into things. Over-the-air updates that improve the car while you sleep. All of this in an SUV that costs less than many pickup trucks. That's not just competitive, that's aggressive pricing with premium execution. Now, let's talk about what makes this thing move, because an SUV is only as good as what's under the hood. Hyundai offers 3 distinct powertrains, each targeting a different type of driver. First, there's the naturally aspirated 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine, producing 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine isn't going to pin you back in your seat or make you giggle with acceleration thrills. What it will do is start every morning, run for 200,000 miles with basic maintenance, and sip fuel like it's paying for its own gas. It's the sensible choice, the reliable friend, the engine equivalent of a golden retriever. Second option is the conventional hybrid system. 1.6-litre turbocharged engine teamed with an electric motor, combining for 231 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. This setup uses a 6-speed automatic and comes standard with all-wheel drive. The hybrid represents the sweet spot for most buyers. More power than the base engine, better fuel economy than anything else in the lineup except the plug-in, and all-wheel traction for those moments when weather decides to test your commitment to getting where you're going. Third is the plug-in hybrid, the technological showcase. 268 horsepower, same 258 pound-feet of torque as the regular hybrid, but with a 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack that delivers up to 33 miles of pure electric range. That's enough for most daily commutes without burning a drop of gasoline. For short trips around town, this Tucson can effectively be an electric vehicle. Then when you need to road trip, the gas engine kicks in and you've got the range of a traditional vehicle without range anxiety. All 3 powertrains offer either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, depending on trim level and your specific needs. AWD adds capability and confidence in bad weather, but costs you slightly in fuel economy and adds weight. Classic compromise. Performance numbers tell the real story. The base engine hits 60 miles per hour in 8.8 seconds. That's not fast. That's adequate, sufficient. The kind of acceleration that gets you onto the highway without embarrassment but won't win any street races. The conventional hybrid drops that time to 7.1 seconds, noticeably quicker. The difference between merging cautiously and merging confidently. The plug-in hybrid, with its full battery and both power sources working together, can hit 60 in around 6.9 seconds. That's legitimately quick for a family SUV. That's crossing into hot hatch territory. If you need passing power on the highway, or you just enjoy feeling some thrust when you press the accelerator, the hybrid variants are the minimum recommendation. The base engine works, but it doesn't inspire. Towing capacity is remarkably consistent across the lineup. Standard configuration handles 2,000 pounds. Add the towing package, and you're rated for 4,500 pounds. That's not heavy-duty truck territory, but it's enough for a decent boat, a couple of jet skis, a small camper trailer, or whatever weekend adventure toy you're dragging to the lake. This isn't a vehicle designed to tow your house. It's designed to enable your hobbies. Fuel economy is where the powertrain choice really shows its personality. The gas-only engine delivers around 24 miles per gallon in the city, 30 on the highway, averaging 26 combined. Decent, but nothing revolutionary. The conventional hybrid jumps to 37 city, 36 highway, 37 combined. That's a massive improvement that translates to real money saved over the life of ownership. The plug-in hybrid offers 80 miles per gallon equivalent when running on electricity alone, then settles into around 34 mpg once the battery depletes and the gas engine takes over. If your daily routine fits within that electric range, you could go weeks between gas station visits. Bottom line on fuel economy, if saving money at the pump matters to you, the hybrid versions are where the value truly lives. Yes, they cost more upfront, but that premium gets erased pretty quickly by fuel savings, especially if gas prices decide to get spicy again. Mechanical options create multiple combinations depending on which trim you choose. Front-wheel drive or all-wheel, 6-speed or 8-speed automatic, gas, hybrid or plug-in hybrid. There's even a more rugged-looking adventure trim called XRT with slightly more aggressive styling and standard AWD. It's not a true off-road beast with low-range gearing and locking differentials, but it handles dirt roads, rain-soaked pavement, and moderate trails better than the base model. Think weekend warrior, not rock crawler. Safety is where Hyundai demonstrates they're not playing around with your family's well-being. The Tucson comes loaded with active safety technology as standard equipment. Automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection that can stop the car if you don't see someone stepping into your path. Lane keeping assist that gently steers you back if you start drifting. Blind spot monitoring that warns you when someone's lurking in that invisible zone beside your rear quarter panel. Adaptive cruise control that maintains following distance automatically. Semi-autonomous highway driving assistance that can handle straight roads with minimal input. In crash testing, the Tucson earned 5 stars from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and was named a Top Safety Pick Plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Those aren't participation trophies. Those are the highest safety ratings available, meaning the structure is strong, the airbags deploy effectively, and the crash avoidance systems actually work. Consumer Reports gives it an 80 out of 100 reliability score, which sits above average for the segment. That matters because a safe car that breaks down constantly isn't actually keeping you safe. Pricing starts at $31,000 for the base SE trim, $33,000 for the SEL, $35,000 for the XRT, $38,000 for the hybrid SEL convenience, $41,000 for the limited, and tops out around $49,000 for the plug-in hybrid limited with every available option. Each step up the ladder adds more technology, more comfort, more refinement. But even that base SE offers legitimate value without feeling stripped out or punishing. The warranty is genuinely one of the best in the entire automotive industry. 5 years or 60,000 miles bumper-to-bumper coverage. 10 years or 100,000 miles on the powertrain. 3 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Hyundai is basically saying we're so confident in these vehicles that we'll fix anything that breaks for half a decade and cover the expensive stuff for a full decade. That's not just competitive, that's a statement of confidence that few brands can match. Toyota and Honda don't even include free maintenance. Parts availability and service coverage is solid throughout most of the United States and expanding in Latin America. In major cities and suburban areas, you'll have no issues getting service or repairs. Rural areas might see slightly longer wait times compared to Toyota or Nissan dealerships, but the gap is closing quickly as Hyundai's market share grows. So does the 2026 Tucson earn your consideration? If you want a modern SUV with distinctive design, comprehensive technology, hybrid options, generous space, and a warranty that actually protects your investment, absolutely. This is no longer the underdog you take a chance on. This is a legitimate frontrunner that deserves to be on your shortlist next to the usual suspects. But Hyundai didn't stop there. They took that same DNA, that same aggressive confidence, and created something the market didn't even know it wanted. Something that makes you question whether you actually need a traditional pickup truck, or if maybe, just maybe, there's a better way. Enter the 2026 Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz maintains the redesign that made it controversial, unique, and impossible to ignore when it first arrived. This is not a traditional pickup truck. This is not trying to be an F-150 or a Silverado. This is Hyundai asking, why can't a truck be sophisticated? Why does utility require ugliness? Why should cargo capacity mean compromising comfort? The result is something that divides people instantly. You either get it or you don't. There's no middle ground. The front end demands attention. Chrome grille integrated with parametric LED headlights creates this signature Hyundai face that combines technology with aggression. It's bold without being cartoonish. Muscular fender flares, black trim pieces, and an aerodynamic profile create a silhouette that looks sculpted rather than stamped. At 16 feet 4 inches long, 6 feet 3 inches wide, and 5 feet 7 inches tall, the Santa Cruz occupies this weird middle ground. It's not compact, but it's not huge. The 9-foot 10-inch wheelbase provides stability and creates a surprisingly comfortable ride quality. At first glance, it doesn't look like a small pickup truck, and that's its masterstroke. It has presence, proportion, and modern design language that puts it visually ahead of competitors like the Ford Maverick or Honda Ridgeline. It stands out in parking lots, it photographs well, it looks expensive even in base trim. The bed measures 4 feet. Yes, that's short, but it's designed with intelligence. Retractable tonneau cover, drainage system, hidden storage compartments, and even a power outlet. This isn't a bed designed to haul pallets of cinder blocks. It's designed for surfboards, mountain bikes, camping gear, weekend projects, and all the adventure equipment that modern buyers actually use. It's not pretending to be a work truck for contractors. It's targeting urban adventurers, outdoor enthusiasts, and families who want versatility without sacrificing refinement. With a curb weight around 4,100 pounds and 8.3 inches of ground clearance, it handles rough roads and light trails without breaking a sweat, though it's not pretending to be a hardcore off-roader. The Santa Cruz lives in the city, thrives on highways, and handles weekend getaways where the destination matters more than conquering brutal terrain. While other trucks are loud, harsh, and clumsy in urban environments, the Santa Cruz behaves like a refined SUV, smooth, quiet, stable. A truck that doesn't need to announce itself with exhaust noise to prove it's capable. If the exterior is a bold experiment, the interior is a complete victory. This is one of Santa Cruz's greatest achievements. Minimalist, well-assembled, and free of annoying rattles or cheap-feeling materials. Hyundai proves that comfort doesn't require size. The dashboard features dual 12.3-inch screens in a single curved panel that looks lifted from a premium vehicle. One screen handles instrumentation, the other manages multimedia. Soft-touch plastics, supportive seats, and impressive cabin quietness make you forget you're in a pickup truck. Higher trims add leather upholstery, dual-zone climate control, panoramic sunroof, and heated seats. These are details that exceed many SUVs at similar price points. The rear seats provide legitimate adult space, with under-seat storage maximizing every cubic inch. Technology includes wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, backup camera, and Hyundai's BlueLink system for controlling vehicle functions from your phone or through Alexa integration. The SEL Activity trim adds wireless charging, digital key, remote start, and upgraded audio. The top-tier Limited includes 360-degree camera, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, and parking assist. For a compact pickup, this isn't just equipment. This is Hyundai declaring they can deliver luxury in any format. Now we reach the part that divides everyone: the powertrain. The Santa Cruz offers two engine options that create completely different personalities. First is a naturally aspirated 2.5-litre four-cylinder making 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's reliable, smooth, economical, but lacks excitement. Perfect if the truck will be your daily driver for calm commutes and relaxed road trips. However, the true soul of the Santa Cruz lives in the second option: a turbocharged 2.5-litre four-cylinder delivering 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. This engine connects to an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission and an all-wheel drive system that completely transforms its character. With this configuration, it hits 60 miles per hour in 6 seconds flat, basically matching the Ford Maverick EcoBoost, but with a more refined, linear, controlled feel. Throttle response is immediate. Cornering is surprisingly composed. Steering is accurate. It feels more like a sports sedan with a bed than a traditional pickup. Ride quality reaches another level entirely. No vibration, no bouncing, and it behaves more like a performance car carrying cargo capability than a truck pretending to be civilized. Capability-wise, the base engine can tow 3,500 pounds, while the turbo model increases that to 5,000 pounds, matching what Honda Ridgeline and Ford Maverick offer. Fuel economy is reasonable too, ranging from 20 to 28 miles per gallon, depending on drivetrain and driving style. Highway driving can achieve up to 30 miles per gallon, and with its 13.7-gallon fuel tank, real-world range exceeds 300 miles easily. In summary, it's not a hardcore off-road monster, but in city streets and highways, it delivers agility and refinement that no pickup in its size class can match. It's the perfect balance between power, smoothness, and common sense. The Santa Cruz doesn't just surprise with design or technology, it impresses with safety and long-term confidence. From base versions, Hyundai includes forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, electronic stability control, and 7 strategically placed airbags. This is protection designed to save you even when you make mistakes. Upgrade to higher trims and you add adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go functionality, highway driving assist, and pedestrian and cyclist detection. In crash testing by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the Santa Cruz earned outstanding ratings in structural integrity and occupant protection. Consumer Reports gives it a 9 out of 10, highlighting mechanical reliability, ride comfort, and ease of use. That score isn't luck. Hyundai spent years perfecting reliability with solid platforms and engines that rarely develop serious problems. The warranty makes a difference too. 5 years or 60,000 miles comprehensive coverage and 10 years or 100,000 miles on the powertrain, plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Even Japanese brands like Toyota and Honda don't include that. Most importantly, Hyundai has stable service networks and parts availability throughout most of Latin America, ensuring your investment won't sit stranded without support. In summary, the Santa Cruz isn't just different because of its shape or concept. It's different because of the peace of mind it offers buyers. This is a truck that doesn't ask you to understand it. It asks you to live with it, knowing it's designed to protect you every mile of the journey. The 2026 Santa Cruz starts at $31,000 in the United States and reaches $45,000 for the limited trim. In Latin America, Prices vary between $38,000 and $55,000 depending on country and equipment level. The XRT version offers the best balance because it includes the turbo engine and all-wheel drive at a reasonable price. It costs more than the Ford Maverick, but delivers better interior quality, more technology, and more refined driving dynamics. It's not the cheapest option, but it's the most complete and coherent with what it promises. Against the Ford Maverick, the Santa Cruz wins in interior quality, refinement, and equipment, though it sacrifices slightly in fuel economy. Against the Honda Ridgeline, it offers more agility, more design, and more attitude. And compared to any mid-size pickup, the Santa Cruz is simply more human. It doesn't try to intimidate, it tries to connect. It may not be the cheapest or the strongest, but it's the most coherent with real life. A pickup created for those who enjoy the journey, not for those who want to show off. So let me make this clear. Will you be among the few who understand what Hyundai is truly proposing? Or will you keep believing that size is everything? There you have them. Two different ways to understand the road, but with the same DNA. The Hyundai Tucson, refined and technological, designed for those seeking comfort and style. And the Hyundai Santa Cruz, rebellious and functional, created for those who don't fear being different. Two souls, one brand demonstrating that the future doesn't depend on size, but on vision. Now it's your turn. Which would you choose? Drop it in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications because what Hyundai is preparing for 2027 might just change the rules all over again. This is Motor REIG, and we'll see you on the next one.